Hello everybody, welcome to Intel Teach Essentials Course 2014. Let me introduce a little bit about myself. My name is Nguyen My Linh. This is my Intel project and I will instruct Unit 3 Happy Holiday from Complete First Certificate. Before I start, I would like you to have a look at on my outline. This is my outline. I divided my recitation into three small parts. The first part is my unit overviews. The second part is unit plan. Last but not least, my portfolio. Now we start with the first part, unit overview. In my unit's overviews, I will give students the overalls of the lessons, staff, activities in my unit. My units will last about 4 with 45 minutes class per period, 1 or 2 class periods per week, and the rate level is 10 to 12. Now I will summarize the unit. I will conduct some activities for students to familiarize students with the topic holiday. Students will learn something related to the topic such as vocabulary, grammar, structures, ideas from listening and speaking. These things will help students to finish their final projects. In the final project, students has their own projects that is to make recitations about destinations for their last holiday and describe what they will do from the beginning to the end of the journey. At the end of the day recitation, students are required to give their own experience and the idea to make country, tourism industry develop. That's it for my unit's overview. And now we move to unit plan. I plan to teach Unit 3 Happy Holiday in 4 weeks. And my unit plans will contain student objectives, curriculum framing questions, assessment plan, include timeline and summary, instructional procedure, list of material and resources. Now, I will start with curriculum framing questions. Curriculum framing questions are set to help children understand more about the theory and they can develop their understanding to these questions. The contents questions, the unit question and essential questions are required to answer at the end of their recitation. And now we move to assessment. First, we start with assessment timeline. Assessment timeline is the overall process of assessing. There are 3 sessions. First is before project, and then when on project, and after that is the post project. First, before the project, I will give students the poster or journal, and then they can describe about the poster, the journal, and then I give them the handout. They have to work in group, answering the questions and discuss with their friend. After that, when they own the project, I will give them the syllabus and the collaboration blueprint for them to assess their collaborations when they work in group before. And after that, I give them the presentation checklist to make sure that they follow my instructions for the presentation. And after this, the post-project, I give them the peer feedback to help them collect the comment from other partner. And after that, I use the presentation rubric to score them. After the units, I will give some practice test to help them understand about the unit, to check them, and then I will give them some practical exam. Now we move to assessment summary. I will make clear about assessments. First, questionings is used throughout the units to promote student thinking and allow student reflections. I will ask important questions why they conduct research to give them the idea. Collaboration rubrics is used to help to assess student attitude about teamwork. The role of a student in the teams will be also shown. Students use a presentation checklist to monitor their progress. This is used by students to self-assess their presentation before teachers' assessment. Peer feedback after the presentation to receive feedback and make appropriate revisions to their works. Students not only can see their weakness, but also improve their abilities. The presentation's rubrics, a scoring guide to assess multimedia slideshow is used to help teachers assess the presentations of students. Review the presentation using the holiday test practice before the practical exams. And now is some instructional procedures. I decide to run my unit through the timeline from week 1 to week 2, week 3, and finally week 4. In my procedures, I also show the activity that I will conduct for students, and I will show some kinds of assessment that I will use. This is my procedures. First, I prepare for the unit by using some journal, magazine, poster, and then I prepare handout note for students to make them follow the lessons. And this is week 1 with I introduce the unit through the scenario and let students hear some conversations of people describing their holiday. From this start, students will achieve more ideas and vocabulary about the topics. Students work with other body to discuss types of holiday, some place to visit, and some activity to do. After that, they work together again to find out the meaning of some new words or phrase. To the task, students will learn some vocabulary, collocation related to the topic. And week 2, week 3, week 4, week 2 and week 3. In week 2, I continue to give them some grammar structures to make sure that they can do their own recitations and use their own word. In week 3, I give them the topic and give them the topic and require some PowerPoint recitation. I give them the time to finish the project. And in week 4, in the deadline of the project, students will give feedback for the partner presentations. I will assess the student work by presentation rubrics, and students will have a task about this topic. And finally, this is my portfolio. I have assessments, student sample, student support, teacher support, unit plan in my portfolio. These things are prepared by me to help students with their projects. I include assessment, sample, teacher, student support. And assessment helps students to check their own work. There are two kinds of assessing that I will use: collaborations and peer feedback. Assessing the collaborations of students when they are working in group, and I will assess the presentation to the partner to collect this comment and new idea. And student sample, I will give them two model presentation. To the model, they can remember the requirement of the project. This is also an effective way of giving information. And finally, last but not least, teacher-student support will make the procedures run smoother. And I will begin with the student support. I will give them the handout to help them follow the lesson easier, and then I give them the presentation checklist to help them to check the presentation requirement. About teacher support, I have the presentation rubric to help me assess the presentations of students. This is also the last slide. Thank you for listening.